Let's bring in Carole Spiers on the line now, who's a business stress consultant. Hello, Carole.
Hi, Clive.
Are you surprised by this then, people being put under extra pressure in the current climate?
No, not really. I think that people are put under extra pressure because employers are wanting to get the most out of their people. I think that, exactly as I heard before, if one person's not willing to do the job, there's going to be somebody else in line that's ready and willing to do that. So therefore, is it more pressure today than it was a year ago? I'm not sure about that. I think that the nature of work today has certainly increased. I think that people's expectations have increased. There are increased demands on people. And I think certainly there is a long hours culture. And I think there's a lot of organisational change around. So if you're looking at increased demands, yes, that's certainly stressful. You're looking at role ambiguity, yes. Is one person doing two people's jobs sometimes? So the question really is, we can't actually necessarily change the stress that the organisations are going through at the moment. The only thing that we can do and have some control over is actually build our resilience to actually manage it. Now, it sounds easy. It's easy for me to say. I appreciate that. But nevertheless, if we don't build our resilience to actually manage what is actually on offer at the moment, then we're going to fall behind because somebody else will. And that's going to be the challenge.
And what kind of things can you do in order to reduce that stress and manage a more intense kind of work?
Well, it's actually trying to get more out of the body. The body we have is a machine. The machine, we want it to work harder. So even though I did hear before on the radio that we actually have 20 minutes every 6 hours for our breaks per day, in my humble opinion, that's not enough. It's really not enough, even though your listeners may say, oh, gosh, I wish I could get that. I don't know. But nevertheless, we have to look after the machine. We have to make time for ourselves. We have to limit our caffeine. We have to exercise. We have to manage our emails, all sorts of things like that. Because if we don't, we're not going to recharge our batteries. And we need, like a car, we need to service it and we need to look after it. And if we don't do that, and it looks like, you're looking at a textbook to say all the things you should be doing in terms of exercise and relaxation, all those kinds of things, yes, they're very important. Because what you're trying to do is to ensure that this machine, which is your body, has a greater resilience to the stressors that the organisations are putting people under. And then I also heard from one of your callers talking about being self-employed. Of course there are greater challenges on the self-employed person. They have their businesses to run, they have IT to look after, they've got happy customers, angry customers, may have loads of work, but nevertheless there is a great, there's a huge pressure on individuals. Again, the marketplace is highly, highly competitive. And because it's so competitive, somebody else will actually jump in if you can't deliver.
And I'm thinking about when you mentioned different kinds of stress as well, there is a difference, isn't there, between the employee doing a long, hard shift, but one which is at the end of the shift, you go home and that's it. There are no worries. In some ways, doing a radio program, once it's done, that's the end of it. Whereas if you are a manager, for example, there are ongoing pressures and worries all the time. That if you're not careful, you will take those worries home with you, and you'll be thinking about them all the time, and they never go away.
Clive, they're the same principles, whether you're the employee or the manager. It's just there are greater challenges on you if there are the manager. And not everybody wants to put their hand up and say, can I be a manager, please? And some people say, no, thank you, not for me. And so that a lot of people will say that. I think the key to working hard is the following. You need to enjoy what it is that you do. Dare I say it, have fun at work. Enjoy what it is that you're doing. Managers should make sure employees feel valued and recognized for their contribution. How many managers do I know today who actually, A, never say good morning to their employees as they walk through the door, and B, certainly never say thank you for doing a job that was well done? Very quick to tell them off, like you haven't got this right, something's gone wrong, and go chasing after them, but not so quick to actually value and recognize. If we human beings feel valued and recognized for our contribution, even if I ask you to work harder, the chances are you will, because A, you may like me, B, we've built a relationship, C, there's trust between us, and C, actually I'm doing it for you. So I know I'm working harder, I know you value what I've done, so therefore I feel good about it. If you feel good about it, you're actually building what I would call a healthy culture. A healthy corporate culture is what organizations need to have. And that's what they need to build in. They can't necessarily change the amount of work they're asking their employees to do. Can't necessarily do that. But they can put on the top of every manager's agenda. And if they don't know how to do it, they need to be trained to say, thank you, I value, you are appreciated. You say to somebody, I appreciate you. You watch them grow. You watch them go on to cloud 9. They grow 6 foot tall. And all of a sudden, then you're buying loyalty exactly as you should.
Carole, great to talk to you. Thank you very much for that. That's Carole Spiers, who's a business stress consultant who launched National Stress Awareness Day.